Wait a minute, let's go back a bit and show you how we got here. Heading west from Alice Springs into West Mac Ranges 133 kilometers. After the drive through the West Mac Ranges, we make it to Glen Helen Gorge and Campground Turnoff. At the time of recording, the Discovery Park at Glen Helen Gorge is shut, undergoing extensive works on site. Turning down the turnoff to Glen Helen Campground, there is a car park on the side of the road and a walking track to Glen Helen Gorge. The entry into Discovery Park at the Gorge is currently fenced off. There is a card-only fuel point here as well. Just inside the fence line is the Discovery Park facilities. Here is the card payment terminal to use before filling up. At $2.84 diesel and $2.64 petrol, it is a bit pricey, but out here it's the only option for 130 kilometers. Lots of work being undertaken to allow tourists to be able to camp at the park, the main issue being access to water, the current water source not being sufficient to sustain the amount of travelers that stay on site. Coming down the road past the turnoff to Van Park is the river crossing and also entry into Fink River Camp area. Road works being done, clearing some sand and rocks from the river that had been covering the road. With almost all year-round river flow, sand and rocks do come onto and across the road, and the road being a low-level build-up is common. March of 2024 seen a lot of rain in the area, and most river crossings in this area had been completely covered for days due to extreme flooding. Given the sandy river beds in the area, most of the water does sink down into below the river bed. These works also help the river continue to flow downstream. As you drive down the track, you come into a section that you can pull over into. Given the sandy and soft in sections track, airing down tires would be suggested. The section is long enough to allow a vehicle and caravan to pull into. There is a sign posted to the right that has some information about the camping area. There are no bins or facilities in this area. Rubbish will need to be taken with you. Take only memories and leave only footprints approach. It is suggested that a four-wheel drive is needed to drive down this track. However, it is possible in a non-four-wheel drive vehicle with caution at your own risk, and not advised to do so. Pest control poison baits are laid in the area. Follow directions on the sign. Camping fees and booking apply in the area. The website is set up for handling the bookings. Looking up website on mobile can be bit hit and miss. Suggestions being looking it up on desktop page option if looking on phone or tablet. Coming down the track, there is a blind turn that is hard to see around. It's recommended if having someone in the car they be outside at the corner as a spotter. The turn to the left is a side track that is very soft in sections. Down the track there is two turns to get to the river and camping area, the right being the firmer of the two. Most campers towing in should take the right, as to not bog down on the track. There is no designated camping areas down the track, and camping anywhere is allowed unless signed otherwise not to camp in that location. There are a lot of sections on the track that are very soft, as well as by the river is very soft. There are rocky sections that help grip on the track but can be rough. The river flows downstream, feeds into other rivers that flows and disappears into the sands of the Simpson Desert before the Lake Eyre Basin. It is thought to be the oldest river in the world and fully flows only a few times a year. That can be attributed to rare floods causing a raging torrent of water flow down from northern tropical rains upstream. The area around Alice Springs, Tennant Creek, and Barkley region have all encountered such weather events as a flow down from tropical rains in early 2024 and previous years caused a lot of riverbed damages, dragging debris downstream. In sections the river is very deep in the middle. There also can be branch and logs hidden below the surface. However, the water is very safe to swim in with no crocodiles in the center of Australia waters. There is minimal risk with precautions taken when swimming. Many campers with ability to do so pump in water from the river into onboard water tanks, helping extend their camping without having to head into town to fill up water. There are lots of camping areas further in. There are open areas closer to the river that is ample for caravans, being mindful of the soft sands, that in the warmer months the sand can be so soft that heavy vehicles sink straight down and get bogged, with a distance to a stable tree to winch off. Recovery tracks may be the only means of recovery if get bogged down. Be aware that there is no phone signal in this area. The closest phone signal is approximately 20 to 30 kilometers out of Alice Springs. Starlink is usable in this area. With the right setups, people have been able to sustain off-grid at this campground for days to weeks on end, with supply runs into Alice Springs to top up. The abundance of sun most of the year. Solar input, when used with intolerance of the power system on board, some campers can sustain their power needs indefinitely while being off-grid. Note there are currently no options in the area to be plugged into mains power while Glen Helen Campground is closed, and the closest areas with powered camping is in Alice Springs 130 kilometers away to east, or to the southwest being Kings Canyon 230 kilometers away. Via the Marini Loop, permits are required on the loop. The spacious area allows multiple groups of campers to be here all at the same time. During the week seems to be the quietest time of the week, with weekends being popular time, and April to September being the cooler months in the area. Summertime can top mid-40s during the daytime and late 20s to 30s of a nighttime temps. One of our previous trips during the week, not a soul in sight. Refreshing time in the water in warmer months. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I made it to the end.